I wanted to talk about the power of indirect measures and also the power of committing to something that you truly believe in. So how the story came about is that a few weeks ago, a student of mine is going through a huge transition in her life right now. She had recently graduated from an American college and is back home in her own country. And she found herself not exactly proficient enough in English for a student that has studied abroad, which, believe it or not, is quite common these days. You think that once you went to America or England or any English-speaking country, you're automatically someone that can speak English somewhat decently. But the reality is a lot of people still struggle with basic communication, to be quite honest. It's just a fact. I'm not judging, I'm not shaming you guys, but those people are the majority. And we got into this conversation about what to do with her life. She got an interview with an American company. It's a really big milestone for her, but she also found herself panicking because she's gonna have to use English, and she will probably be using English on a regular basis if she wants to get promoted. And through our conversation, I could just tell that she's not entirely happy about being accepted into the first round of the interview. And I told her, now you have to make a choice. Either you accept this job and deal with the constant threat, the constant fear of being discovered, of being potentially called out on. Oh, hey, your English is not as great as we thought you might be. Or she could hold it off on a job opportunity for a bit and work on her English until she feels comfortable enough to say, oh yeah, I can speak, I'm fluent. And after our conversation, she was still texting me, hey, I don't know if I should do this, I don't know if I put in the work, if it will still work out. I told her, kind of to scare her off a little bit, I told her it's gonna take a few months, but really it might take a little shorter than that, because when you're focused, when you really want something to happen, like, things happen really fast. But I kind of told her intentionally a longer time, a longer duration than it actually is, to kind of scare her off a little bit, to test her a little bit, to see if she's willing to commit to something. And she's like she's full on panicking. She told me, hey, I don't know if I have 6 months of time, I don't know if this will pay off. Even if I put in the time, it might not actually work out. I might still have trouble speaking. And I think a lot of people can relate to that emotion, whether it's learning English, whether it's losing weight. You find yourself debating over whether or not to commit to something because you only have, or you think you only have, a certain amount of time, and you're trying to evaluate whether or not this investment of your time, of your money, of your energy is worth it. And I couldn't think of a really succinct answer until I saw some NBA players on TV, just occasionally when I was eating lunch. I don't watch NBA games, but I have a lot of respect for just any professional athlete, and I couldn't help but wonder what got to these players, because a lot of them start out really young. When you're an athlete, you usually start out before you're a teenager. And I'm sure not all of them, I think the majority of them didn't go into this craft or this profession or this game thinking, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna be the best in 6 months. I'm gonna be a professional football player. I'm gonna be a professional basketball player. Or might as well just not try. And to think that these people that so many of us look up to are still killing it every single day. And they are not just they're not just practicing on the basketball court. They go to the gym. This kind of ties in with what I was going to talk about today. Indirect measures. They work out their muscles. They work on their general physical well-being before they ever hit the basketball court, before they ever do any strenuous, very targeted practices with their teammates. And it got me thinking, that's how I started as well. I didn't go into learning English thinking, oh, I'm gonna be speaking English in 3 months, or I'm not gonna do it. In fact, that's what kept me going for so long. I'm still working hard at it every single day, but it's because I made a commitment to myself not to strive for looking good in front of other people or being able to show off my English when other people are around or when a native speaker is around. I was striving for that every single day, that daily practice, that daily regimen, that daily ritual. And I would pat myself on the back every single day if I did a good job or if I just did my job for the day. I think when you focus on the ritual, when you focus on the system, when you focus on what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, things will happen really quickly. Ironically, when you stop focusing on, oh, in 3 months time, because you can't, we only have such a short we only have a short attention span. We can only focus on today. I mean, you could think about 3 months logically, but you can't think of it emotionally. So if you decide that English or losing weight or doing any particular thing is very important to you and it's valuable, don't be afraid to commit to yourself, to commit to this mission, however long it takes, which surprisingly, as it turns out for so many people, does not take that long. But you have to commit first. You have to take the risk first. And don't worry, because it is risky, many people choose not to do it. But all the more props to you for doing it, because yeah, most people will give up, or they'll give up before they start, or they don't want to invest, and then they only talk about, oh, how jealous I am of anyone who can speak English when they see anyone speaking English. But all the way up to that point, they have not done any work. So if you just do one thing, if you just do any simple, boring thing in your regimen, you will succeed. So I hope you kind of find comfort in that. I hope you find reassurance in that. Success a lot of times is just showing up, and showing up every single day and seeing the progress every single day and patting yourself on the back, and you know, keep at it, commit to it, decide that it's important to you, decide that it's valuable. It's really not about much else. And ironically, the riskiest thing to do sometimes is the safest thing to do, because no one else wants to do it. So yeah, hope that was helpful. You're amazing. Good luck. I'll see you next time.